The Osoyoos Desert Centre this weekend was the scene of the first ever Art in the Desert. Denise Eastlick, the Osoyoos Desert Society's executive director, says the centre tries to collaborate with community groups.
As the Desert Society, our offices are actually in the art gallery building, so we're incredibly aware of the amazing talent in this community. And ever since I started at the Desert Society, I really wanted to do an art event out here. It's just so great. It's like a privilege to have an opportunity to be part of helping to showcase the art talent in this community. And then certainly it's a win-win for us. This art is a tremendous draw and helps attract people out to the Desert Centre. And we're all about education and trying to inform people about this habitat.
The new event replaces Art in the Garden, which was held in the gardens and studios of artists around the region. We asked organizer Sharon Leonard why the new format.
Well, we decided that we had quite a few people that had made other plans, so we were looking at a new venue just to add interest, and we thought it would be nice to have it all in one spot so people could come in one-stop shop instead of driving around. Actually, it's very well. We've had over 100 people through today, and hoping we'll have some near that number tomorrow. And I think most of the artists are happy with the results. We have some really nice artists, and they're new. Some of them I haven't even shown before, but yes, I think it's a very successful show.
Carolyn Sinclair likes to do acrylic paintings of shoes.
Well, I really think that shoes embody a lot about a person's personality. And even if I don't know the person who wore the shoes, I start to create a story around them, and that's what it was for me. I got onto the shoes, and they had lots of challenges. I loved trying to figure out how I'd do patent leather so it showed all the reflective surfaces, how I could show the silver linings, still get the reflection. And it just went on from there until I really got on to my husband's high tops that he wore in Europe last year. 78-year-old man wearing red high tops with his little Italian suits, if you can imagine it. I ran out of shoes. I asked friends if I could borrow their shoes for a couple of days so I could paint them. But then I ran out of shoes, so I'd go to Value Village and I'd grab a pair of shoes, usually the small, stylish pair, put them on a table, and I would prop them and photograph them because I couldn't buy them all. And so a number of these are VV shoes.
Osoyoos artist Beverly Vorley is a painter. We asked her about her painting of a canyon in Zion National Park in Utah.
The colors, absolutely loved the colors, beautiful part of the world. And I ended up doing 2 different paintings, and the colors are what inspire me to a subject, so I went with it.
And do you photograph and do it back in the studio, or do you do it on?
I take a lot of photographs. I will come home and I will scrutinize, pick the ones I like, and I generally work from 2 to 3 photographs just to kind of get exactly what I want. And then after a certain point of the painting, I remove the photograph so that I can now put my own feeling into it. So it's not coming out looking like a true photograph.
Yes.
It's a little more maybe original.
What kind of subjects do you like to choose?
Oh, everything, anything. I have done portraits, I've done wall murals, which are fanciful, fairies and such. I love my flowers. I've moved a bit away from the flowers, scenery, cactus. If there's a painting over here that is a lady, this would be in Mexico, and I chose it because of the shadows, the way the shadows were falling on it, and she was going home at the end of the day, from her work there, and I absolutely fell in love with that scene.
At a time when most photographers have switched to digital, Peter Hovstad still enjoys working with film, big film.
I think for me, The biggest reason to shoot film is the fact that I have a physical artifact. I've captured a slice of time on a piece of film, and I have a physical relic, a souvenir of that moment in time. Digital just doesn't, it's ethereal. It's ones and zeros electronically on a microchip running through a computer. This particular camera is a Chinese-made 4x5 camera. They still make these. There's a number of companies all over the world that make old-style film cameras. 4x5 is really the smallest large format film photography. People shoot 5x7, 8x10 is very popular. You can imagine an 8-inch by 10-inch negative is pretty amazing to see. And I'll just spin this around. You're basically looking at a negative the size of this sheet of glass. This is just, it's like comparing a short story to a novel. There's just so much more information on a big piece of film than there is on a tiny little silicon chip. And if you really want to tell a big story with your photography, there's nothing like big film to capture that kind of a story. Well, all of these images are printed on brushed aluminum. So the front side's brushed aluminum, there's aluminum on the back, and then the center is plexiglass. So it's a very rigid, solid substrate for the image. This particular image was shot on 4x5 film. This image here was shot with a 6x17 wide format film camera. The other two were shot digitally, and all of them, including the film shots, ended up in Photoshop for a little bit of time to prepare them for printing. Well, you know, I am attracted to landscapes. I do like spending the time out waiting for the light and so forth. There's really no particular methodology or system that I have. It's really, you know, when I drive, I pack my cameras and I look for things, and if the light isn't right, I'll go back. And you know, I've been back to a couple of these places a couple of times and shot them over and over, and every time you go, it's a different image, right? And eventually you get a collection, you pick a few out, and you print them up, and you hang them up, and really that's, for me, I really do enjoy getting the print up on the wall. You know, it's one thing to take the picture and have it in your computer, but when you print it and you actually see it, you know, day to day, hanging above the fireplace or whatever, it's a very rewarding experience. And it's rewarding to know that, you know, people are buying images and enjoying them in their homes.
And are you looking forward to doing this in future years?
Yes, we're hoping to. I know Denise from the Desert Society is hoping we'll be able to do it again next year, and I'm thinking the response is pretty positive here. So, and we may be even able to expand because we have room for more artists. So.
And will this be the beginning of something that you hope will be ongoing in future years?
Absolutely. You know, we hope this partnership will continue. So this is the first year they've tried it. This used to be Art in the Garden, and now they're trying it out here at the Desert Centre. So yeah, fingers crossed. Hopefully it'll be something that we'll do again in future years.